you're also like learning the skills and also growing as a person. You grow like since the beginning, so like later on when you kind of know what they're teaching you.
Okay, cool. You get taught by the best.
Okay, there you go. That's another one. How about you?
If you're putting in the work to get them as your coach, you're probably putting in a lot of work yourself. So.
There you go. They have a high standard. You're like, I gotta catch up to that, right? Anybody on Zoom want to give me an answer? Steaky, text.
You allowed yourself to be coached. You allowed yourself to be coached. And
there you go.
And yeah, you open yourself up.
Yeah, you open yourself
or
up
your
to,
mind.
Or your mind
to take in whatever your
coach
would be willing to teach you.
So you just allowed it. There you go.
I feel that for me, that they're gonna teach you things that gonna save you some time. All the mistakes that you shouldn't do.
Now that's why I didn't want to ask you. So here we go. No. Every answer is right. Every answer is correct. There's no wrong answers, right? But there's a main reason why. We've been there. You heard of the story of there's a guy. He's walking on the beach. Hopefully you guys on Zoom can see me. But he's walking on the beach, and he's like, he hears some yelling, some screaming, and then down there is like he sees somebody in a hole. He's like, hey, why are you down there? He said, I fell, right? I can't get out. I don't know how to get out. And then, so what the individual on the beach does is that he jumps down in the hole too. He jumps down there. He's like, why'd you jump down in here with me? He says, no worry, I've been in this hole before. I'll get us both out, right? So basically what Christian said is that it's the experience. We've been there, right? We've gone through some stuff. We've seen some stuff. We made the mistakes, and we're like, don't do that. Don't go that way. Don't say that. Don't do that. I'll use an example with my boy Christian over there. We were, when he started, we still fresh, still new, still excited. He was excited. He was real excited. And he saw me in action in the sense of physical prospect, saying hi to somebody. Hey, how's it going? They can ask you a question. Are you open to making more money? I'm just being very monotone now, but it sounds different. You keep your options open, making more money, learn something. Yeah, whatever. He heard me. And so he said, well, what if I tell him this and this and this and this and this? We call that term throwing up on people. You're not physically throwing up, but you're throwing up words on him, right? And so I would see him, I'd be like, I talked to like 3 people and he's still standing there talking. Holy crap. He's getting the whole life story, I said he probably did the application and everything. They rehired him. So what I'm saying is that in this business, right? He went through that. He bumped his head, and eventually we had a training where one individual like that's multimillionaire, he's making $300,000 plus a year. He asks him, hey, what do you say when you talk to people? He says, well, hey, by chance you live here in the area, are you open to making more money, learn something new? And then after the training, I'm like, hey, Christian, did that sound pretty familiar to something that like to something you've heard before? He said, yeah, that's exactly what you say. I'm like, yeah, but I'm like, we're just, yeah. We're just keeping it simple. If somebody's truly interested, if you ask them if they're open to making more money, you're going to connect. We're going to connect. We're going to connect. We're going to connect, and we're going to be here, and we're going to make it happen. I don't got to give them all this extra and this and that. Eventually, through the business, when you're actually here, that's going to happen. But but while you're first meeting them, no, none of that. Just like, hey, you open? Let's meet up. Let's do it, right? So your coach, she can see further than you. That's it. A couple weeks ago, I made this small mistake that it was caught by Omero. He saw it and he's like, and he gave me some coaching on it. I was like, damn. It was such a rookie mistake, and I was like, damn. And
But I was like, perfect. I'm glad you corrected it. You know, he sat down there, we had a serious talk about it. And he laid it out and I was like, okay, cool, done, set. I said, perfect. I'm glad you caught it now, because if I made this mistake as an RVP, it'd be a bigger mistake. Great. If I'm running an office and I make those kinds of mistakes, it's going to give me serious trouble. But at least now you're able to catch it, you saw it, and we took care of it, right? And he taught me, he coached me on it. I said, okay, I got you. Thank you. What I'm saying here is he could see, he saw further than me. He said, imagine you have, you know, down the road, you have 1,000 agents working with you and you make that kind of mistake. How heavy is that mistake going to be? I said, damn, right? I'm not going to show, I'm not sharing with you guys what it was, but I'm saying that it is something that could immensely affect multiple people if I made that mistake with a lot of people. So I was like, thank you. He saw further than me. Your coach sees further than you. Don't allow yourself to your own thinking or thoughts of smaller thinking counterparts. Okay. So in this business, if you fall in that hole, or you just as an individual through your personal life and you fall in a hole, well, don't go to people that are either living, who have smaller the same thinking as you or smaller thinking than you. Okay. Maybe in the beginning you can't really differentiate that, but there's people that done life more, got more out of life, right? They're pushing to get this up here. And then there's people that are just like, oh, okay, you know, they're just living life. They're just like, they're living in the motions of life. Like, I clocked in, you know, I got out the job, I went home, you know, I was watching some TV. You saw that Netflix, right? Yeah. You saw that Netflix show. I see, hey, you see that new thing on Amazon Prime? Or they talk about, hey, you see that on the news? Damn, those are the ones you gotta, you know, they're like, hey, I was on Facebook and I saw Shanika and Shaquiqui talking about this and that. And I was like, I'm saying there's nothing going on there. There's nothing. There's no value. They're not a bad person, right? They might love you, you know, you feel good about them, but there's no value there as a person. So I'm saying is like, don't share if you're going through something, don't take your thoughts to somebody with the same level of thinking. Always shoot higher. Why? Because maybe they made those mistakes, or they've been around people that made those mistakes and they can give you better guidance. Or if not, they can at least connect you to somebody with better guidance that can let you and get you out of that hole, right? When you take someone's opinion, you're buying their lifestyle, right? When somebody judges you and starts telling you, hey, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that, take a step back and say, is that person where you want to be? Is that person achieving all the goals and dreams that you truly want? Are they doing that? Think about it. And I don't know, somebody that's judged you in the past, right? Nobody judges you now in the sense of like in a circle of people. They don't even try. I'll say, hey, well, let's do your application. They don't even want to get near me. I'll start talking business. And I'm like, yeah, come on. You know, I keep them away with words. Right? Too much positivity is around me to get even near me, right? So do you want it, right? Do you want their lifestyle? Maybe not, right? And in this business, we've been exposed to people and anywhere, you know, depending where you're at. I mean, people that are making hundreds of thousands of dollars, that have millions of dollars saved. And I remember one of my coaches saying, who's in the audience? Okay, just I remember one of my coaches saying this. Let me just verify this. Let me see who's in the audience. Okay, we're good, right? Disregard. Please. So okay, we're good. I remember a coach of mine saying, you really think I care about this coronavirus shit? I mean, he didn't mean it like that. Just, you know, take it with a grain of salt or whatever the saying is. He says, you really think I care about this coronavirus crap? No, I have money on top of money on top of money.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, there we go. And that's true. That is very true. I mean, I could just take a step back and look at he told me certain numbers. I'm like, yeah, there's definitely money there, right? And we can look at each other's income and the the company, when you're internal, you can look at each other's income. The same board that shows my money shows his money. His money shows 10 times over. 8 times over. You know, he's making 30,000, 40,000 in a month. In a month. Not in a year, in a month, right? So, hey, they whose lifestyle do you want? Right? They vacation 6 times a year, 8 times a year, 8 times, right? They've been on vacation December, January, February. They're going somewhere in March, and then they're going somewhere. That's the lifestyle I want, where you can just, you know, when you get that feeling that you don't want to do nothing. Right? We all get it. We all get it. Yeah, I get it, right? And I see some of you guys get it too much. But in that, when you have money that comes in when you're sleeping, you can do that and be okay. You know, you can do that. Like, that's why I can never stop moving, because I was like, I haven't achieved that. So then I get anxiety. Right. You're not there. Get out of it. Keep moving. Next thing, plug in, right? This right here, one of the fastest production vehicles out there, right? When it comes to you know, most cars, right? There's fast cars out there, but I mean, if you just go into the dealer, you pick up this car, you'll be faster than almost anything out there in the road, if not faster than anything on the road. So does it, but if it doesn't plug in, it's going to die. Honestly. In this business, if you don't plug into your coach, into your uplines that are trying to feed you and get you there to guide you and push you, right? Or if you don't plug into the meeting right here, Saturday 11 a.m. Saturday 11 a.m. And then Thursdays 7 p.m. They don't change. Right. I'll say it again. Well, you guys know what I said. So they don't change. So you know what time it is, right? So let's get here and get it done. So plug in. I mean, in this business, if you're not plugging into the resource, like a Tesla doesn't plug into electricity, it's eventually going to die out. You could be freaking good. You could be solid, right? But you're not plugging in, you're going to die. You're going to slowly die, you know? Or you could be, look, honestly, there's other forms of energy, right? If you try to put, you know, let's say you take a Tesla and somehow you try to put gas in, right? Let's say if it could run off of gas for some reason. If you're not plugging into the right source too, right? You can be plugging into other kinds of sources. It might, like if you put gas in a Tesla, it'll slowly kill it. Maybe it'll help it run, but it'll slowly kill it. And maybe you're getting slowly killed, not plugging into the right source. So make sure you plug into your source. That's true. I know a couple folk. Buenas tardes. Sorry. They missed 11 a.m. So now I know a couple folk, right? There's people in this business that I've worked with that have massive potential. Way more than like, I mean, starting in the gate. There's people, everybody comes with a different background into this business, where some people, they have a lot of connections, they're super good with people, they've been in business before, they sold jewelry and found out how to sell jewelry in every sort of form and fashion, that when they hop in here, they're like, okay, life insurance, jewelry. Let's swap it out, same movements, cool. And then they make $200,000, $300,000 in their first year. And cool, that's good for them, right? And then there's people we don't know nobody, but hey, we got that grind and we still make it happen, right? So now I've hired people in this business where they have so much potential, where they can do so much, they have connections, they have everything, but they can't, nothing happens because they don't plug in. Straight up, they're not plugging in. They're not here now. I tell them every Saturday, every Thursday, plug in. I don't think I can make it to Saturday. It's too early. 11 a.m. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I'm like, 11 a.m. Right?
It's not even that early.
No, man. Heck no, right? It's not early, right? No. We used to have trainings at 9 a.m. I love that. It was done early.
9 to like what, 12?
No, 9 to 11. 9 to 11. Yeah. We'd have 2 hours training.
Yeah.
We made it easier on you guys. It's not 11 to noon, 1 hour. So make sure you plug in. Next one. Stay green in this business. Look, Which one are you guys gonna eat? This one on the left or this one on the right?
On the left.
Anyone want the one on the right?
I don't know.
Okay. So now, in this business, you gotta stay green, meaning you gotta stay consistent learning. What do they call new recruits when they come into the army? Do you have an idea?
Greetings.
Greenies. Yeah, we call them greenies. Recruits, greenies, right? Why are they greenies? Because they're new, they're fresh, they're new, fresh, right? In this business, you gotta stay fresh, you gotta stay new, you gotta stay learning consistently, right? In this business, I mean, I personally, I'm always picking up something, learning something. We're reading something or listening to something because we got to stay on our toes. One individual that I was talking with, somebody that we recruited, hired, she's asking, how do you know all this stuff? How do you get all these things? How do you talk like that? She said, where do you come up with all these quotes and all this stuff? I'm like, well, we read. We're always listening to material. We're always reading, you know, and there's knowledge in those books. Homero sent us this thing once, said, back in the day, back in the 1500s or 1600s, I don't know, one of those time periods, back in the day, to make a book, it was expensive as heck because people had to physically write the damn book before printing stuff. Some ladies had to sit there and write out a book. I want 10 copies of your book. Okay, it'll be ready in 3 years. You know, because they had to handwrite those things. So they were expensive as ever, right? So, and who only got books then if they were super expensive?
Rich
people, wealthy people, right? Now, you can get a book for $5, $10 on Amazon that has massive amounts of knowledge in there. You don't even look at it. Sometimes we give it to you. Not here, bro, learn, get good. You don't even look at it. You have it sitting there all freaking dusty, right? And so I told the young lady, I was like, well, look. And I pointed to my shelf of books on my windowsill and I was like, this is why. It's all these. There's a bunch of knowledge in here. They're awesome, right? So stay green in this business. Continue learning, plugging in with your coach, staying fresh, right? So what's going on now? Homero wanted me to touch on this, kind of what was going on since October. So that was coachability training. So this is just kind of swapping out a little bit. I know you guys were enjoying the avocados up there, but so what's going on? What are we doing right now? What's moving in the business? What we got? What we're working on? So far, well, this is what's going on. I mean, we're doing what we're supposed to be doing, meaning what our coach says, right? I don't have those noted down, but you know, I'm direct to Homero. So he's always like, do this, do that, work on this, work on that. I'm like, you know, I had a conversation with him in October, one of those times. And I said, hey bro, I'm lacking in this area that I'm very weak at. I was like, what do I do? And then he laid out the play. He said, well, work on tracking, you know, the people coming to your meetings. Make sure you for sure remind people to get here to the meetings, right? Start building those relationships, right? I was like, how the heck do you build a relationship? Because in the past, when I hired people, it was all business. I was like, come on, let's do this. Come on. Right. I was like, you can't figure it out? Okay, forget you. You know, and that was it. All right, next. You know, so I had to. I mean, one thing was I learned to build relationships, work on it. I'm not great. I'm not perfect. I don't know. I'm still learning to communicate and connect here in the heart.
Trying to show love, brother.
Right. Oh yeah. Show some love too. You know, I show some love in a way to everybody. In a sense. Yeah, I'm working on it, right? I'll get you it. Yeah, I got my way.
Oh, that's love.
I wasn't shown love and affection as a child, so I don't know what it is. So to me, it's just like, okay, figure it out. There's no emotion, just go, right? That was me, but I've been molding that, fixing that, working on that.
That's what we have to do,
right? So, I mean, that's I guess a little thing for me, but this is the player right here, the jar, right? Can you get my jar, bro? It's right there. So some of you guys were on that meeting, some of you guys weren't. It's okay. I'll describe it right now. Now, what is a jar? There's an individual here in the business. I might have a picture of him here. His name is Miguel Illich. Some of you guys know who he is. Sometimes I post his stuff on Facebook, on Instagram. If I see him, I see him. If I don't see him, look for the bald head. I can't find it. Maybe, oh no, I have him in my office. Anyways. So Miguel Illich, he's a guy, he was a dishwasher prior to the business. Oh, you got him? Oh, I do have him in my office. Thank you. There you go. That's Miguel, right? So I keep his poster in my office because it's like, damn, man. I was like, if he did it, why the hell can't we do it? All right. This is his story. He says, back when SVP, I guess this is a thing he said. Back when SVP Miguel Illich of Miami, Florida, achieved the 3-diamond full ownership. Oh well, this is what strategy paid off a huge wage. Okay, no, he doesn't talk about his backstory, but he used to be a dishwasher and he used to be a cashier at a restaurant. Just like that. You walk into a restaurant, there's a dude taking your order. That was him, right? And he was making what, $10, $12, $13 an hour. He was living with his auntie and staying in his little cousin's room. Imagine you're a 31-year-old grown ass man living with a 12-year-old on his bunk bed on the top, on the little one, right? Because there's a big bed on the bottom and the little one on the top. And he's like, and that was his life. And he's like, man, I got to do something different. I got to make some freaking changes right now. Because he talks about how in his 20s, he spent the whole time partying and going out and doing all this and that. And but then doing and wasting all that time got him to 31, sleeping on his little cousin's bunk bed. Like, what the heck am I going to do? And somebody talked to somebody, right? Maybe they didn't talk to him directly, but somebody knew somebody that got him here to his office. They shared with him what he did. And he took the steps, and within 6 years, got himself to $1 million in rolling income. His second year, he was already at $300,000 in income. Second year in, 1, 2, making $300,000.
Can't do it in a lifetime.
And then by the 6th year, he was making $1 million plus. Now he's still making $1 million plus. When he was doing the meeting the other day, one of the guys asks him, "Hey, how do you put?" Because they thought that he was like maybe fronting. You guys know what fronting means?
Yeah.
Anybody not? So I know. No, okay, cool. So they thought he was fronting in the sense of his cars because he drives very expensive vehicles, $400,000, $300,000 vehicles, and they tell him, so are you like leasing them? You know, are you doing like some sort of payment plan or something? And then he's like, no. He said, I'm gonna tell you this. He tells the guy, he said, I'm single. I make a lot of money. I'm gonna spend my money. I can spend my money. That's what he said to the guy. I was like, cool, awesome. There you go. Right? But he talks about this concept. They're called the jar. This is why he was able to get himself to where he got himself, because of this thing, right? Your jar could be whatever it wanted to be. I don't know. I found this somewhere here in the office. I don't know who it belonged to. Hopefully but I kept it. And so thank you, somebody. And in here, well, you do this, the deserving jar, because you get what you deserve. That's what he said, right? Now, what you deserve could be a bad thing or it could be a good thing. It works both sides. You could deserve some crap because you did crap, or you could deserve some good stuff because you did some good stuff, right? So the deserving jar means that every day, one of these things has to happen. You got to do one hire, bring somebody new to start working with you. You got to do, I think I doubled up. I think I meant to say life. Yeah, one life. Sorry, guys. So one hire, either you do one policy, you license somebody, you get 10 numbers, 10 brand new people, brand new, they didn't exist in your phone. Or you do 3 presentations. And I put / investments because Miguel Illich didn't do a lot of, he still doesn't do investments to this day. He doesn't do a lot of investments, but you know, we're capable of doing investments. So get licensed, right? So now doing one of these every single day. And since the day of the call on Sunday, we've kept up to it, right? I'm gonna keep the momentum, right? I mean, and so I said, look, if we're, you know, getting some things going just on and off, you know, just missing a couple of days here and there, I said, if we're seriously on it, because actually that's what happened, is that I did always stay committed to this prior, because I've heard of it prior. But I sometimes I'd be lax about it. It's like, oh, okay, you know, and then put something in there. I didn't stay committed to it. But now I said, we got to stay committed to it.
Perseverance.
And so yesterday, right, I put the dates. I said we closed, you know, did a policy yesterday. It says the date on there, 2/19/21, 2/18/21. Did a policy. So this is something where you're at. It's either something you do personally or something that happens on with your team as well, right? Somebody working with you. So policy with Cynthia, right? She closed 103. She made $300. Awesome. I'm pointing at the camera. Yeah. So I told her, if you passed your test already, right? If you would have been licensed, you would have made more like $550 instead of $300. Ain't that nice? $550 for sitting there and smiling and nodding your head. I mean, well, no, never mind. She did some of the work. She filled out the application. I gave her that portion. So hey, awesome job, though. IBA submitted 2/16/21. I think that was through Jessica. She's at 2 IBAs personal. She has more IBAs personal here this month than some other people that have more experience. We did that $60,000 investment. Originally it was 58, but there were some changes in the market, so it was actually 60,000. So $60,000 investment. We did that. On 2/15/21, we did an IBA. I think we might have done that together. If not, Derek might have submitted an IBA. Somebody submitted an IBA. On the 14th, the day of the call, we got a license. We got a license, right? But I kept that on the pretty low. And then, then Jessica, on the 18th, she did an IBA, right? So we kept up to it. And today, something's gonna happen.
Let's go.
Because
That's
you gotta be working on this every day. If you're serious about, you know, taking it, because that's all he said he did. And I believe him. I believe him. I said, if there is no way, if you're working at it every single day to achieve something,
you're not gonna make money.
it's impossible. It is impossible. Something is gonna happen. You can't keep reaping and reaping and reaping and reaping. That's what they say, like when you're growing corn or something, and not sow. It's impossible. And I keep believing that and pushing towards that and running towards that. Just going, right? Because it's gonna click. It's gonna click. I mean, nobody's gonna RVP out here in ages. So somebody's gotta do it.
You are, man. I'm talking about.
So we gotta, you know, and then lead it from the front. So, you already know.
Don't stop. Don't stop. Let's make it happen.
All right, guys. So that's my training. Hopefully it gave you guys something.